Hi, and welcome to Bands and Body Weight in under 20 minutes. We're starting with this quick warm-up, just tapping side to side here. Let your arms swing freely. From here, we're going to move into step touch. Just tap as you come side to side. Arms coming in front of and behind your body. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders, bending the elbows as we bring our heels to our backside. We're going to move through every plane of motion in this warm-up. From here, pushing the palms out to the side, keeping the same lower body movement. Think about turning your palms behind you so you're warming up those rear shoulders. From here, let's go straight up with the arms with a high knee march. You're just bringing those knees up towards your chest as you reach overhead. And then finally, next movement we're going to continue that march, but we're going to swing our arms forward and back. Tapping the heels up front. This creates an external rotation of the hip, just warming up the hip joint. And from here, we're going to take it behind us, tapping that heel behind us, opposite hand to the foot. Coming back to that step touch as we finish up our warm-up here. And that's it for the warm-up. We'll get ready to do some strength training. Let's grab our heavier resistance band here. So I've got this blue band is about 20 pounds resistance, so it says. I'm going to come into a sort of moderate to wide stance here with my toes slightly turned out, getting ready to do a squat. We're going to bring that band together. And then I like to grip it below the handles because I am short. You can use the handles if you're a little taller. I'm going to drop down into that squat, pushing the hips back. So you're imagining there's an invisible chair behind you. So push your hips back and get as low as you can, then stand up and get that resistance as you stand, pulling on those bands. Remembering here that as you stand up, you are trying to pull those bands just with your arms straight. Don't really use your elbows here. And we're going to do 10 repetitions total. Pretty much all the exercises in this workout today are 10 repetitions. Great. From here, we're going to go into a same stance, but maybe a little bit narrower. We're going to come into a deadlift. So you can see that I'm holding those bands below the handles. Again, this is because I'm short and I want to get some resistance. Now, if you're really tall, you can hold those handles. Push those hips back. Remember, you're hinging at the hip, not at the waist. You're imagining you're reaching for the wall behind you with your backside. Again, 10 repetitions. Every exercise we're doing in this workout is 10 repetitions. Great. From here, we're going to go back to the setup for the squat. You're going to see me widen my feet just a smidge in a moment, and then turn those toes out. There's where I catch it. Push the hips back, drop into that squat, standing up tall. Remember, 10 reps. Every exercise we do, 10 reps. You'll be surprised at how much of a workout you get with just resistance bands. Coming back to that deadlift, you can see my grip is below the handle again, hinging from the hip, keeping my back super straight with a slight bend of the knee as I come down, and then standing tall, straightening the knees, squeezing the glutes. Excellent. From here, let's go into rows. Again, you'll see me holding below the handle, getting a good grip on that band. And you can really use any kind of band here. I'm going to lean forward at the hips so that I'm working against gravity. I'm going to pull my elbows back and together, squeezing the muscles behind your back, trying not to engage those muscles up by your neck, your upper traps, trying to keep it in your back. We're going to do 10 repetitions, just like with every other exercise we do in this workout. Really look for that squeeze as you pull. And even though it doesn't matter which foot is forward, on the next set we're going to swap to the other side. Next exercise is a chest press. You can see again, I'm pulling that band right up in the top of my back, just under my underarms. And again, I'm not using the handles. I'm pushing straight forward with my arms. My hands are not close together. They're really in line with my shoulders. Kind of hard to see from this image, but you're going straight forward, right out in front of you. Ten repetitions. And then let's go back into that row. This time I'm going to put my opposite foot forward. You don't have to do this, but it just takes a little bit of tension off the opposite leg. Kind of evens out your body. So again, grabbing below the handles for me because I'm short, and then I'm pulling those elbows back and together, really squeezing the muscles of the back as I pull, trying to get that full range of motion in a row, working slightly against gravity here as I'm leaning forward from the hip. Great. Coming back to the chest press, you'll see we're going to alternate exercises throughout this whole routine. Now, if the band bothers your hand, holding it the way that I'm holding it here, you can adjust your hand position until it's comfortable. You can also grab a different part of the band, maybe up at the black part that you see just below the band itself. So whatever works for you, as long as you've got tension on the band as you push forward. And remember, again, my wrists are right in line with my shoulders. Now, I'm going to take these handles off and I'm going to switch to a different band. We're going to go a little lighter for this next exercise. And for this exercise, you probably will want your handles. My feet are about hip distance apart here, and I'm just trying to make sure that each side of the band is pretty even. We're going to come into a bicep curl, rotate the wrists, and go straight up into an overhead press. So as you come up, your palms are facing. As you make that curl, your palms face your shoulder. So up, touch the shoulder, then up with your palms facing each other overhead. Again, 10 repetitions, and you will be surprised how difficult these are. Hang in there. This is why we went to the lighter band. Great, next up is a lateral raise. Notice my elbows are bent. If you look at me from the side, you'll see my wrists are out in front of my body, not just in line with the side of me, slightly out in front. Again, repeating for 10. Hang in there, these are tough. All right, woo. Next up, coming back to that bicep curl to overhead press. So curl, you'll see me give you a side view here. Come up and then palms face each other as you go overhead. Traditional curl, palms facing each other, so neutral overhead press. These are tough. Stick it out. You will sweat in this short little 20-minute workout. Almost there. Whew. Great job, you guys. All right, back to that lateral raise. Slightly bent elbows. And see how they're coming out in front of my body. We're not going directly to the side of us. slightly out in front. That keeps your shoulders safer. And just do your best. They don't have to be perfect, but you want to get through as much range of motion there as you can. That is tough. All right, taking the handles off this one. Don't really need the handles where we're going next. We're going to swap to this slightly heavier band, come down onto the mat, and get on our back. We're going to have our knees bent, feet flat. Lying back, we're going to place that band right below the hip bones across the hips. And you're going to take your hands and press that band down to the mat. And this is going to engage your triceps at the same time. Lift your toes, push your heels into the mat, and we're going to lift those hips up and down, working against the resistance of the band for 10 repetitions. Again, 10 repetitions for every exercise through this workout. As you hold that band down, you're going to feel your triceps working. That's exactly what you want. All right, now we're just going to let the band relax. We're going to balance our knees over our hips, and we're going to alternate tapping our leg, straightening out towards the mat. Now, you do not have to come all the way down to the mat, and if you feel any discomfort or pain in your lower back, then you're going to bend your knee slightly more. Okay, they do not have to be as straight as my legs are demonstrating in this video. You're going to do 10 extensions on each side. So it's 10 and 10. So keep repeating until you get a total of 20 repetitions, or 10 with each leg. You should feel this in your lower abs. You want to keep your back nice and flat against the mat as you do these. This is a variation of the exercise dead bugs. Great. From here, place that band back over your hips. Really hold it down, keeping those arms straight so you're feeling the backs of your upper arm, those triceps engaged. Lift your toes, push your heels down into the mat, and bridge. You're pushing those hips up, working against the resistance of the band. Meanwhile, your arms are really working hard to keep the hands on the mat the whole time so those triceps are kicking in, firing. Let's take these to 10. Excellent. All right, again, let's come into those modified dead bugs. So straightening, alternating 10 and 10. 9 and 9. 8 and 8. Keep it going. Breathe. Remember to breathe. We're not holding our breath through any of this workout. Keeping your back nice and flat against the mat. And remember, if you start to feel your back arch away from that mat, then you're going to bend those knees slightly more as you come down. So you won't straighten as much as you see me demonstrating in this video here. Hang in there. Almost done. Okay. We don't need the band anymore. We're going to come into upper crunches. So you're just lifting your upper body up off that mat, trying to get the shoulder blades off the mat. Now, if you need some head support, you can bring your hands behind your head, but I feel that tends to make people cheat a little bit. So this is why I have you bring your hands down by your sides, as long as it doesn't bother your neck. So this is going to get those upper abs. You're going to feel them working as you reach. Now let's do some obliques. We're going to take my right hand behind my head. I'm going to bring my right elbow to my left knee, extending the leg as I come down and lie flat. We're going to do, again, 10 repetitions, and this will be on each side. So we're going to repeat that one side for 10, and then you'll switch and get the other side. Here we go. Let's get the opposite side. Bring elbow, knee as close together as we can. All right. Let's go back into that upper ab crunch. So you're not trying to get all the way up off the mat. You're just trying to get your shoulder blades up off the mat. If you want to make this a little harder, you could lift your legs up off the mat so your feet are no longer touching the floor. Just makes it a little more challenging. If you straighten those legs, that is the most challenging version. Let's come back to the obliques. Right elbow to left knee. And again, if you feel this in your low back, you just don't straighten the leg as you come down. You keep that knee bent. Should feel those abs working by this point. Feeling a little challenged. Make sure you're getting that shoulder blade all the way up. Let's go to the opposite side. Same thing. Get that shoulder blade all the way up off the mat. You can see that my right hand is laying on the floor. And the reason I do this is because it keeps you conscious of keeping that opposite shoulder down. Again, taking to 10. All right, great job, you guys. That's pretty much it. Now let's start to do some cool down. We're just going to drop those knees together side to side. Bring your arms out like you're in a big T shape. Nice and easy, just rotating from side to side. This is great for your back. All right, from here, let's bring that knee up and across, trying to keep, so I've got my right knee coming across, so I'm stacking my hips and my right arm is out to the side. You'll see a little better angle here as I rotate. See how my hips there are stacked? Now, if you can't keep your arm on the floor, that's fine. It doesn't have to be on the floor, but you do want your hips stacked one on top of the other. Right, from here, let's roll up to seated. We're going to get a little stretch. Bring that arm across your body. Pull that elbow in towards your chest and just relax your shoulders. Doing the same on the opposite side. Let's bring our arms behind our back. Straighten them. Feel that chest stretch. And bring the arms overhead. Interlace. Pull up and back. We're not done yet, though. We're going to separate our feet. Go nice and wide. Walk those hands out in front. Let's reach for one leg. And reach for the opposite leg. Remember to breathe. Bring it back down to center. And then bring your hands behind you. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, get a little stretch that way. And then we're going to sit comfortably again. And we're just going to roll the head side to side, especially after those ab exercises. Loosen it up. And that's it. You made it in under 20 minutes.